And welcome back, everyone, to Who Would Win. And today's Who Would Win comes to us from Horrible Drawer. God, I always hate pronouncing words like that because for some reason I have difficulty with pronunciation when it comes to words like drawer. It's like when people have trouble saying the word rural. Some people just say rural. But either way, Dr. Two Brains from Wordgirl from PBS versus Dr. Bright from the SCP Foundation. What are we doing here, folks? So, I'm just going to fix it right now. Dr. Bright is actually that medallion. I believe it's SCP-963, if I'm not mistaken. In essence, this character, Dr. Bright, is possessed, his spirit, his mind is stuck within this medallion. And whoever puts it on basically becomes possessed by the spirit of by the soul of Dr. Bright. They become Dr. Bright. Dr. Jack Bright, to be precise. They are, though, despite being an SCP, loyal to the Foundation themselves, doing whatever experiments need to be done. They're a bit eccentric, a bit amoral, but ultimately not a bad person. However, they are sick of living. One of their goals is ultimately to die. And it's kind of impossible just with the means available to him at that time. He's also apparently immune to, and not anesthetics, mind manipulation, abilities, just because of the nature of what it is. That being said, they're highly intelligent and capable in their own right. Dr. Two Brains was a very nice, kind man who was a scientist who, due to a failed lab experiment, had his brain fused with that of a lab mouse, Squeaky. Yeah, this is a thing. PBS, everyone. He is, though, described as being a exceptionally gifted scientist, extremely smart. He's the city's number one villain who is something he takes pride and is even sensitive about it. In terms of what he's capable of, I guess he can make inventions and things along those lines. There's really no I've got his wiki up here. It's not really defining what he's created, in terms of his inventions. His ability includes super intellect, knowledge of technology and science. Though he is able to chew through solid steel and drywall, the fact he can chew through solid steel is actually very impressive. Speaks mouse, heightened sense of smell. He's got singing, marksmanship, piloting abilities, ice skating, and hacking into TV feeds. Great, wonderful. This is PBS. I'm not expecting something amazing. Apparently, Wordgirl herself is actually a fairly powerful character. I mean, not like Superman or anything like that, but a strong enough character for a show like this, who could actually, do things in a versus if I were to put her against someone. That being said, however, these two meet in a fight. I guess it would have to be a battle of the minds. If he were to take the medallion and put it on, it would be interesting to see if he would be immune to the effects due to having two brains. If one personality would be completely wiped out while the other lingered and kind of bothered Dr. Bright. Given the fact that the SCP world is far stronger than the Wordgirl world. God. Wordgirl world. God, that is hard to say, actually. Wordgirl world. Yeah, because world and word are the same word, just add an L in there for world. So that's actually, try saying that a couple times in a row, see what happens. Mind you, I also have some speech impediment issues. They've come more back to prominence because of doing the channel so often. They weren't as big an issue like during high school. But during my younger years, like before age 10, during elementary school, I had to go through speech therapy. And so because I have a tendency of talking a little too quick, my lips aren't keeping up with the words inside my head, and therefore it kind of comes out mushed, jumbled, or slurred at some point. Or I mistakenly go for the wrong word when I'm trying to say a different word. So I keep saying this every now and then when this issue comes up, but I really got to learn to take my time, pace myself a little bit more, which I'll definitely do with the what if when we get to that today. But to the verses, battle of wills and intellect, I would probably say Dr. Bright is the smarter of the two, just because of the world Dr. Bright lives in. Yes, there are superpowered beings in the world of Wordgirl, but you're dealing with like SCP-682, who can literally consume the entirety of reality if you're not careful. You got books that can create worlds just by writing them. You've got gods, you've got monsters, you've got items that can literally warp the fabric of reality, and then you have a tickle cutie jelly monster. So it's intelligence wise, I'm probably gonna have to go with Dr. Bright, or you know what's probably more likely to say is he's probably got the better wisdom and arcana check or arcana check if we're going by D&D term here. Maybe in terms of just the straight out inventing capabilities and like suddenly on the fly make something capabilities, maybe Two Brains has the edge here. But that being said, if this is a fight we're doing, I guess I would lean towards Dr. Bright because he's also probably a little bit more cynical because he wants to die, whereas this guy's just a children's cartoon character. Like he's just a silly cartoon. He claims to be evil, but I mean I can't find like his most evil things he's done. Like he's never tried to kill anyone or like take his own life or anything like that. So I don't know. I would say that this is probably not the most evil of individuals in the grand scheme of evil. Dr. Bright's not evil either, but he's someone who would, unlike, say, him, throw a punch and maybe try to, dish out some damage. However, if push came to shove and Two Brains bit Dr. Bright, he'd kill him because he can bite through steel. So just start taking chunks out of him. Granted, I don't know if that's within his personality to do something like that, but then maybe without thinking, he puts the amulet on, and Dr. Bright overwhelms both personalities and just takes that person and takes his body and just like, here we go again. And you know what? Honestly, I say that, but that is actually probably the most likely scenario. He comes in, they kind of fisticuffs for a bit before push comes to shove, and Two Brains just we're going like really dark here. He's like, ooh, I'll be taking this. Fun. It's like, oh God. What is this? Oh God, this is the body I get now. I gotta wear a hat now. That I think is actually a very realistic possibility. Now again, the question as I raised earlier would be, does the amulet override both brains? I mean, there's nothing to say it would, but there's nothing to say it wouldn't either. I would just say probably. Just because of the nature of SCPs and how powerful they can be. And this is literally overriding someone else's, personality and body to be Dr. Bright's body. So because of the nature of what Dr. Bright is, I actually would say Dr. Bright would win, just because Dr. Bright initially loses the fight but wins the war, because I imagine he'd be greedy enough to take the amulet, put it on him, and then turn it to Dr. Bright. So, yeah, I'll say Dr. Bright for that very weird win stipulation, but I will say Dr. Bright. That is, though, just my opinion. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you folks for the next one. Later.